Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to finally be doing my video talking about the death of Hershel Green in the Walking Dead television series and whether or not I think Hershel should have died. Right, so I waited a while for this one. Now people are still going to say, oh man, spoilers, that's a spoiler. The episode has been out for 2 weeks now. So if you missed it, it's the greatest episode ever. Go watch it. But, I waited a while. I didn't post this video right away. I know people are crazy about spoilers because the title itself is a spoiler. The whole topic is a spoiler, and my thumbnail, I'm going to put a good thumbnail, and it's going to be a spoiler too. So the whole thing, the whole topic is a spoiler. I can't do a video on it without spoiling the events for people. So if you're searching around on the internet and you haven't seen the episode yet and it's been 2 weeks and you come across this video, I apologize if I ruined it for you, but hey, you know what? I got to do it at some point, and if I do wait 2 or 3 months, then no one's going to want to talk about it anymore. No one's going to care to discuss the topic because it will have been old news. Like if I did a video now, should they have killed Shane? It's like, that was like 2 years ago, so nobody cares anymore. So this was perfect timing in my thoughts. Give it a couple weeks. People in the UK can see the episode. People in North America will all see it. Anyone who hasn't seen it yet obviously doesn't care enough to watch it, and I don't know why they would even watch this anyway, right? So I think it makes sense. Whatever, let's do it anyway. Let's talk about it. I have done a tribute video to Hershel, kind of highlighting the character and things I like about the character. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, I'll put the link in the description. You guys can go ahead and watch that. That's kind of giving my thoughts on the character as a whole as he goes through the series. This one in particular, we're going to be talking about the death itself. Now, in The Walking Dead, obviously, the title itself refers to the people, which is a cool switch. You think that The Walking Dead refers to the dead, and then the comic book series is kind of shown through dialogue with Rick that the people are walking dead. So they're walking, they're walking the dead man walking, right? Hershel, of course, being one of those. So in the comic book series, Hershel is killed in the prison battle too. He's shot down as a result of the war with the governor, but it's not done in the same way it's done in the television series. That said, I prefer the version in the television series even more because it makes perfect sense. Number one, he's got a prosthetic foot. Number two, he's not a quick shot. When the governor pulls on him, right? And has already knocked Michonne out basically with a pistol whip to the head out of nowhere when she didn't expect it. Hershel, of course, he's not that fast. He's not going to be able to to quickly shoot at him. So it makes sense that the governor would take him prisoner and use him as a bargaining chip, since he is a good man, as he even says himself. Now, that said, I really like the way they work it into the story to use Hershel as a bargaining chip to try to get Rick's group to leave the prison. It really kind of just adds to the weight of it. If the governor just showed up and he didn't have any hostages at all, and he just wanted to flat out attack the prison, there's no way Rick would consider giving it to him. It would just be a battle from the get-go. Because he's got the hostages, it really adds to the drama of that sequence in Too Far Gone. And then, of course, Rick trying to talk them down, the governor with the liar and then the slash and everything. It's sort of like Rick believes that people can change even after they do certain things, like they do evil or bad things, which is kind of funny because they're out of prison, right? If you think about that for a second. So he believes people can truly change. The governor, on the other hand, does not, as he says liar and slices him. So it's a pretty brutal death, especially after when the governor gets the sword, comes over, and finishes the chopping off. Now, I was expecting him to hold the head up and do one of these, right? To just terrify the people at the prison. They didn't do it. They didn't go that mile. Probably a good thing they didn't. That would have been pretty graphic. I don't know if they could have shown that on cable. I guess they could have with the zombies having severed heads and stuff like that, but that would have been pretty serious to show something like that on AMC. So instead they go with the more subtle approach to the Maggie and Beth zoom in with the sound all dead and just kind of looking at their emotions as the governor is doing this and as Hershel's going down. So a good man till the very end. Sooner or later, everybody in The Walking Dead is probably going to meet their maker. Rick eventually, I'm fairly convinced, will die at some point in time in the comic book series and in the television series. If they go on long enough, I think he will sooner or later. So now I think he's going to accomplish some great things before that. But every character in the series at some point or another is probably going to die. At least most of them, I think. So Hershel, it doesn't really make sense that he's a part of this group, but he is elderly. His foot is gone. He doesn't have the mobility. He's a good shot, but at the same time, he's not great against walkers, and he's pretty nice. And in a zombie apocalypse, being a good guy like that, I don't think that a person like that can really last all that long. I really don't. So the death itself and what it does for the series, well, it made it the best mid-season finale, the best episode ever. Added to the drama. It was tragic. It was beautiful at the same time. It fit within character for the governor to do that, to shut Rick up and force the issue, press the action, an aggressive response to make Rick cut it out before Rick sways the people in his group at the fence. Because you think about it, Rick puts on a pretty good speech, and it's like you're starting to think, okay, are some of these people that are part of the governor's group that weren't so sure of attacking, are they going to change their minds? And then the governor quickly takes to action to shut him up, and the sword, the first-person view, and then the slicing. So I don't think you can get much better of a death than that. It was, Hershel had a great time in the series. He had the internment episode where he saved so many people. The farming thing at the prison where he was doing that with Rick, teaching him. He played sort of like a surrogate father to Rick in the series. And he had lots of time for us to get to know him as a character and really care about him. So it was great, in my opinion, the way they handled Hershel in the TV series. It was, I guess, a little bit predictable, kind of. But at the same time, even though it was a little bit predictable, it was used very well, I think, to really make that the best episode ever. You can't have a war or battle like that with a tank and all these people firing at each other without having at least a few casualties. Rick's group actually had less casualties than I thought they were going to have. But because it was such an important character with Hershel dying off like that, it really felt like it was more than it was. Like, it felt like this is a war and that there's so many deaths and all these things going on. Even though when you look back on it, there actually wasn't that many characters in Rick's group that were killed. So it was really clever in that way, and they didn't need to, because this one was shot, directed, and written and acted out so well. So one of the most tragic scenes in all The Walking Dead. I'm sure lots of viewers cried when they watched it the first time, and I loved it, man. That's part of what makes The Walking Dead so exciting, is not knowing who's going to survive, who's not. And, it really showed that the governor, even though he can change and all this kind of stuff or whatever, or it seemed like he could change, in the end, he really couldn't. He was compelled to do this, and man, it was a great death. There's bad deaths in The Walking Dead. I think like Andrea's was not the greatest, and there's good ones. This one was handled perfectly, I think. I think it was a great death. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about it. I say yes, they should have killed him off at that time. It was the right time, it was a good time, and it really made for the best episode ever. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.